Hello everyone, welcome to Gradeup, welcome to your exclusive CAT preparation channel. Today we will be doing the 10th set of our VARC practice in your final lap for revision for CAT 2020. We've had 9 sets so far. I hope you have seen genuine progress in your revision for the VARC section of CAT. Do let me know how you're doing. I am Savitri Krishnamurty. For those of you who don't know me, I teach VARC and I have more than 25 years experience in teaching for test prep specifically, CAT, GMAT, GRE and all this. Alright, hello Rishi, hello, what name should I call you? Why don't us? Okay. You can watch all my videos. If you follow me on Gradeup, you can access all the videos and of the classes I have sessions I have taken on VARC. All right, good evening everybody and a big hello to all of you. All right, good to know that you're getting 3 out of 4 correct. Yes, it's good to have a little bit of fear and a little bit of nervousness, you know. Even Virat Kohli admits that he feels nervous when he goes out to bat. Sachin Tendulkar said he always has butterflies in his stomach when he used to go to bat. So it's good to have a little bit of nervousness, but don't let that be overpowering, because at the end of the day, I don't know if you followed us yesterday in our session, and I loved what Vikrant Kathuria said, that every mock you treat it as if it's an actual CAT, and when you actually take CAT, treat it as if it's just one mock, and so that will help you keep calm. You understand? So that should be your attitude. So Rishi, just try to focus on the reading part. I'm sure your accuracy will go up. All right. So as you know, we have this revision set every day at 5:37 and 9 p.m. Make sure you follow all the classes so that you know, all of us have been working very hard to get this to you so that you will learn. And yes, I told him I'd borrow it from him and I am using that. And on 29th November, immediately after CAT, we will be there with our live analysis. The first shift analysis will be at 10:45. The exam ends at 10:30. Right, 2021 also, you can just look at this so that you know how we teach and you can have an idea about the VARC section of CAT 2021. But today my focus would be only on the revision part, so I will be going a little faster. If you see our basics, we have a 2021 classes, so you can of course watch this too. Again, I do not know how to address you, my unique video kingdom. All right, you can watch this today, but you can watch our series for 2021 students where we are starting from the basics. Right, so after your slot is done, please watch our analysis. We have it at 10:45, 2:45 and 6:45. Once the answer key is released, we'll have an analysis of the entire answer paper also. All right. Okay, and of course subscribe to our channel. Please like the video if you like the class, and stay tuned to Gradeup to get notifications on all our classes. All right, so we will follow the same method. That is, I will give you about 45 seconds to a minute per slide. 2 questions you asked yesterday: how do I have to read a passage and then summarize? You should not do it in 2 steps. Read it, and as you read it, simplify it so that you remember what you have read. You understand? I said 85% accuracy, 80% attempts with 85% accuracy will put you in the 100 percentile category, Rishi. But it is possible to get absolute accuracy provided you're really focused. That's not required, right? So aim for maximizing your attempts and maximizing your accuracy. We'll be talking about strategy very soon. Okay, let's do the fundamentals now. I'll give you about a minute for each slide, and then I will show you the questions, and then only we will analyze it. Is that clear? If you have doubts on words in the passage, do not let it act like some sort of a block. Read it and you will understand it in the context in which it is used. All right. So treat this as a proper test revision. Let's start. Okay, your time starts now. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So you've read the passage. Are you ready for the questions? Right? Now here in the exam, you could also quickly go through the passage one more time, or you can go cross-check the part of the passage later. Right? So I will give you again about 30 seconds per slide. Quickly 30 seconds only to quickly at least find out what you want to remember. Start. Next slide. Next slide. All right. Okay. Now, first question. What, according to the passage, could be the idea of deterrence? He said that deterrence is one reason we haven't gone for a full-scale nuclear war. What could be the idea of deterrence? What is the very idea of deterrence? What does it do? All right. So, what are the answers? Option A, B, C, D. Quickly read through the options. Tell me if you want me to show you some part of the passage. Since the superpowers of the world have signed a multilateral non-proliferation treaty, they are prohibited to use nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons are so destructive that no country would use them because such use would invite retaliation in kind. Possession of nuclear weapons guarantees war prevention and stability, or under a safeguard system, the countries of the world have agreed to prevent the use of nuclear technology in creation of weapons, instead employ it for peaceful purposes. What do you think? Quickly give me your answers. Guys, concentrate on the passage. I will give you last 5 minutes today to ask questions. All right. Quickly answer the questions A, B, C or D. Tell me if you want me to show you any part of the passage. You have to be very quick with the message. If it comes after I show the next question, it becomes very distracting. Right? So quickly I need to see those answers. I see a lot of people attending the class, but only 2 answers in so far. Quickly, doesn't matter if you're wrong. I did not say remembering the main idea is more important than reading articles. No. When you read the articles, make sure you understand the main point. Can you put down articles and tell me what's the main point? All right, I've got 4 answers so far. Only 1 correct in that. I will not tell you which one that is. What is the idea of deterrence? What does deterrence mean? What in terms of nuclear use of nuclear war? Okay, Joy wants to see the last passage. Last passage is not talking about deterrence. It is talking about controllability of nuclear weapons. Deterrence has been mentioned in question in passage 2, in paragraph 2, slide 2. Okay, this is where deterrence has been mentioned, that nuclear threats. Read it quickly and tell me after reading this what's the answer. Okay, again I'll take you back to the passage. Once I showed you this for 15-20 seconds, this is where deterrence mentioned. So, where's my one? Okay, so answer to question 1 done. All right, you can mark your answers now quickly. Let's move on to question 2. What is the primary purpose of the author? What do you think is the intention? Why did the, please mark the question number, all right? Shruti, Muhammad Naved, Priya, please mention the question number. Rishikesh, all of you, Rishi, Achinkya, all of you write down the number of the question. So for this answer, write 2 and give me the answer. What is the primary purpose of the author? Why has the author written the passage? To declare the inevitability of a nuclear war, to declare that nuclear vulnerability be taken seriously, to highlight the fact that countries possessing nuclear weapons usually indulge in proxy wars, or to highlight that the countries might promote the ideas of deterrence, but deep down they intend to wage a war. What do you think is the purpose of the author? All right. Question 2, give me your answers. I have seen 2 answers in so far, Ganesh and Rishi only. Muhammad Naved, Dev, Sai Harish, all right. Priya's answer in. Okay. All right. Shall I move on to question 3? Some more answers on the YouTube side. I'm not seeing many. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Question 3. Which one strengthens the author's primary argument? Now you see how your main point, understanding of the main point is very important. What is his main argument? And which one would strengthen that main argument is what the question is asking. Look at the answer options. Tell me which slide to show you and I will take you to that slide or passage. Quickly read through it. If you can get the answer, good. Otherwise, tell me which part to take you to. Which one strengthens the author's primary argument? For that, you have to obviously know what is the author's primary argument, right? So, roughly, if you knew the main point, you will know what is the point he is trying to make. Last slide, okay. I'll take you to the last slide. Okay, I'll show you the options again. This is the question and answers, Ganesh. Which one strengthens the author's primary argument? A massive nuclear meltdown and radioactive contamination in Fukushima, Japan in 2011 was a consequence of earthquake and a tsunami. B. Imminent danger of an all-out nuclear war that would destroy civilization has greatly diminished in the post-Soviet era. The Treaty of Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, the NPT, prohibits parties from developing nuclear weapons, or nuclear weapons not only protect the sovereignty of something by preventing, not only protect the sovereignty of nations by preventing war, but also promote peace and stability. Which one would strengthen the author's primary argument? All right, Ganesh and Rishi have come up with answers. Where are the others? Type in your answers. Okay, Sai Harish. This is a tough passage. This one of my favorites, and not my favorite because students make mistakes. My favorite because it's a classic, typical cat passage, just a paragraph longer than what a cat passage would be. Still, it's pretty good. All right, I've seen a lot of answers. Let's go to question 4. What does the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons means? Now, whenever he gives a quote from the passage, I would always advise you to go back to the passage and read the quote. The answer will be there, either before it or after it. So quickly read through the options and I'll take you back to the part where he uses the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons. Tell me if you want me to, if you remember, tell me which slide, first, second, first part or second part, but basically question 4 now. What do you think the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons means? Okay, read the options quickly. Countries possessing nuclear weapons entered into clashes. Countries possessing nuclear weapons indulge in proxy wars. They have adhered to the idea of deterrence because of the aftermath of regular weapons. It's far more predictable. Or nuclear states have witnessed escalation with other countries with nuclear weapons in a controlled manner using regular weapons. All right. I'm going to show you with the, what is the word, credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons. That explanation has been kept here. No, here. Here. What does the author mean by this statement? That's all you need to know. So read the statement, understand what he has said. Okay, then I'll show you the answers. You can read the line after that also, and then we come up with the answers. What does it mean? Question 4. Read the options, all the options carefully, and then the efficacy of deterrence may be due to the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons. Credible means believable. So deterrence has been effective, efficacious because of the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons. Say it in your own words and find out which option goes closest to that. All right, I've seen only 2, 3, 5 answers so far. Where are the rest? Just mark your answers quickly. I want to see more answers in. Okay, classic cat question, classic cat answer options, and you all are making the most classic mistake done by students. I'll tell you where. All right, last question of the set. What is the tone of the author? Pessimistic, apprehensive, cautionary, exhilarated. Pessimistic, apprehensive, cautionary, exhilarated. Question number also you put it, huh? Put the question number when you answer, okay? Puneet, Sai Harish, others, Muhammad Naved, Priya, who else has given answers? Ganesh. Okay, I see only one answer here, Rishi Kumar. The others, quick. Naveen, good. I'm not saying you're correct or wrong, good for giving the answers, okay? All right, Shruti also. All right, done. Next is another passage only. Okay, let me go back to the passage, guys. Okay, I know it's a slide too long. That's it. It's not a very long passage. First part he said is that nuclear weapons cannot be intercepted once they are launched. Once they are launched, they reach the destination. You can't stop them. All right, and he says that therefore we are vulnerable. We have this weakness. We are exposed to nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapon states are the targets of other nuclear weapon states, and obviously non-nuclear weapon states are also vulnerable. And there is no realistic way that we can protect ourselves against nuclear weapons, however they are used, whether they are used deliberately, inadvertently, by mistake or accidentally. Either ways, not intentionally, accidentally or deliberately, we are not protected against nuclear weapons. The nuclear weapon states have reacted to this vulnerability, this weakness that we have, by coming up with the comforting idea of deterrence. Means the fact that we have nuclear weapons and the opposition also has nuclear weapons will deter us from using nuclear weapons. So they have taken comfort in deterrence. But he says nuclear threats have not always produced fear, and fear does not always lead to caution. On the contrary, it sometimes can create anger, and like Fidel Castro during the Cuban Missile Crisis, read up about it, fantastic. Anybody who's interested in politics would know. Find out how is it related. It might have been a time when nuclear weapons might have been used for the second time. There was a huge, it went to the brink and it came back, right? The apparent efficacy of deterrence, the apparent efficacy means efficiency, ability to work of deterrence in some cases. Deterrence worked in some cases. Why? Due to the credible prospect of retaliation with conventional weapons. Nuclear weapon countries were deterred only because, and were stopped from using nuclear weapons only because they knew that they had the option of retaliating with conventional weapons. So first, when two countries are opposed to each other, they knew that they had the option of using conventional weapons. So that is why the deterrence, they did not opt for the nuclear option. That's what that sentence means. Therefore, as an example, he has given that countries with nuclear weapons have in fact gone to war often conventionally, even with other countries with nuclear weapons, albeit even though in a limited fashion or through proxies. Either they have had a limited war conventionally or through proxies. All right. Countries, however, might not always show such restraint, and nuclear deterrence cannot be considered stable. Strategic planners routinely think of the worst case scenario and prepare for it. And the people who are arguing for nuclear weapons keep saying that, you know, other countries are acquiring nuclear weapons, so we need to acquire nuclear weapons to deter them from using it. That's the normal argument given for upscaling your nuclear weapons. Implicitly, however, without really telling, it is understood, it is implicit. All nuclear weapon states have said that there is a great possibility that deterrence will fail. This deterrence, that they have nuclear weapons, we have nuclear weapons, so if I use it, he'll use it, and both of us will lose out. This idea of deterrence is not fail proof. And so what have they done? They have made plans for using nuclear weapons, and they are always ready to fight a nuclear war. This dissociation, this disjuncture, he calls it, this complete separation, the ideal of possessing nuclear weapons for deterrence and the reality that we might one day have to use it, has been best categorized by General Lee Butler. He said, we hope, we wish, we pray that we will not use nuclear weapons, but we are always ready to use it. The goal is to prevent nuclear war, but we are always ready to wage nuclear war. Therefore, he says it's foolish, it's an illusion to think that there will be no nuclear war. And another illusion, wrong impression, is the controllability of nuclear weapons. He says it is not possible to control nuclear weapons. And he says the idea that we can control it leads to overconfidence, and overconfidence will lead to mistakes, and the mistake might lead to the use of nuclear weapons, as what almost happened during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when the world, he says there may have been many more times when the world came close to a nuclear war, but we will never know because the countries will never tell you. So he says, therefore, that what actually has prevented, if it is not deterrence, if it is not controllability, what has prevented a nuclear war? According to the author, it is just plain luck. And he says that if that luck also will run out, then what will happen? This luck cannot go on indefinitely. It's gone on till 75 years, from 1945 when it was first used. We have survived for 75 years without a nuclear war, according to the author, just because of plain luck. But he's saying, how long will this luck go on? It can't go on indefinitely. And he says, when it actually happens, it will make even COVID look very mild. So when you're reading what happens, somebody was asking me, how am I supposed to mind map? One of the things is, whatever you can simplify of the passage, please simplify, so that by the time you finish reading the passage, you have the main point in your head. Somebody was asking me just before the class started, how can I understand an article and know its main point? Please read the editorial today. Go back after we finish this class. Please go and read the newspaper, read the first editorial that you see, put down the paper and try to tell somebody, I read this. If you can, then you've read it correctly. Rishi, I've been preparing for CAT the last 25 years. Okay, I've been teaching for the more than last 25 years. Every year I've been teaching CAT English. So buddhu hu main, because I'm doing it for 25 years and you people are doing it for the first time. So I think you all are doing a great job. If I were in your place and I were reading the passage from a reading comprehension point of view for the first time, initially it's difficult. But get into that habit, and the moment you get into that habit, you have faith in your ability to read and remember, then CAT is very easy. You understand? Alright. What could be the idea of deterrence? What is the point? What is the reason? What is the very idea? What does deterrence mean? That's what the question means. Often I find you are not understanding the question. What is deterrence? That's what he is asking. Deterrence is the fact that you are restrained, you are the fact that the other country has nuclear weapons is making you stop, is preventing you from using nuclear weapons. That is the idea of deterrence, and that is given in option B. Right? Many people have given other ideas. Where did it talk about? C is exactly the opposite. Okay, that's not deterrence. Guarantees war. Guarantees war prevention. He says the idea of gun is not guarantees, is a very strong word. Right? Has he talked about preventing the use of nuclear technology in creating weapons? He has not mentioned this at all. Those of you who marked D for question 1, he has not mentioned this at all. Right? So answer is B. Next question. The primary purpose. Okay. Mercifully, most of you had the usual question of, ma'am, close and correct option. I can easily eliminate 2 options, but I am caught between 1 and 2, between a close option and correct option. Please understand, there is only one correct option. All other options are wrong. Alright. Now, if you had to choose, so in the first glance, at first glance, you said, okay, C and D are wrong. No, some people marked C. Is it to highlight the fact that countries possessing nuclear weapons usually indulge in proxy war? Is that what he wants to tell you? Then why would he say that deterrence may not work? How long will luck work? He's saying till now, countries with nuclear weapons have stopped using, have not really used it because they know that the other country has. And this deterrence has been made more effective by the fact that they know that India doesn't like China. China and India will get into a conventional war. The fact that they know they can fall back on conventional warfare. And so some countries which have nuclear weapons have fought often, but they have fought either conventionally or they have indulged in proxy wars. That does not mean his whole point in the passage is to highlight this fact. It's a fact mentioned in the passage, but that's not his primary purpose. What's his primary purpose? Don't look at the options. What's his primary purpose? First paragraph, nuclear countries are vulnerable, non-nuclear countries are also vulnerable about a nuclear, vulnerable that there will be a nuclear war. Second, why are they vulnerable? Because this deterrence that you are talking about may not always work. Because controllability is not there. 3, so far the deterrence seems to have worked because of luck. but how long will this luck happen? So eventually we might have a nuclear war. So there is two things. Declare the inevitability. Has he said we are definitely going to have a nuclear war? Has he said it? If he had said it, then yes, inevitability. But isn't this a very strong word for what he said? He said we are all vulnerable. We're just wondering how long before we actually have a war. But he is not going to say we are definitely having a war. Therefore, between A and B, what goes with the tone of the author is B, not A. A pakka hoga, so prepare for your doom. He hasn't said that. Therefore, A is very strongly worded. That's why you will mark B. Understood? So, answer for 2 is B, not A. That's the primary purpose. How do you get the primary purpose? Please look at each paragraph, and you don't have to go back to the passage. If yes, Rishi has given the main breakup of the passage. First paragraph talks about vulnerability. Second talks about deterrence. Deterrence is not really effective. It can lead to overconfidence. Third part is where he talks about controllability. We don't have controllability over nuclear weapons, so we can use it. By mistake also we can use it, something like that. Last, so how have we survived so far without a war? Because of plain luck, just luck, nothing else. The question is, how long will our luck last? He has not said that our luck will not last. If he had said that, then you will mark A. Therefore, B is a better option than A, that we are all vulnerable to nuclear war, and therefore take it seriously and do something about it. That's what he seems to be saying. Got it? Okay, you will understand it. They're not all passages that go like this. So each time you do a passage, remember, you're building your system to look out for these small traps. And every time you come across a trap, you say, Acha, this probably this word I'm not sure of. Go back to the passage and cross check. Then you will get it right. So don't be upset. Don't let this deter you from your path to cat. What is the author's primary argument? Deterrence is not working. Controllability is not working. We do not really know how to avoid. Therefore, what has prevented a nuclear war so far? Just sheer luck. So, what strengthens the author's primary argument in that way? Has he talked about nuclear weapons? People are not developing nuclear weapons. Is he saying that? Has he said that? He said countries are upscaling their weapons. Oh, they have developed. India, every time China comes up with a new nuclear warhead, India comes up with it. The moment India comes up with it, Pakistan comes up with it within a week. Pakistan khud kuch nahi banata hai na. China will just give it to them. So that's what he is saying. So he is not talking of nuclear non-proliferation. Definitely not his main idea. Cannot strengthen. This is totally against his idea. He talks of deterrence not working. It is just luck which has helped. So A is about luck. It's a consequence. It's just bad luck that the nuclear meltdown happened. So it is luck or bad luck that led to nuclear accident. So the luck factor is only mentioned in A. Therefore, the answer for 3 is A. B is saying that the vulnerability of nuclear war has diminished. So that will not strengthen his argument. The author is saying we are still vulnerable. B is saying we are not. After the Cold War ended, the chances of a nuclear war have come down. That's what option B is saying. But is the author saying that the chances of a nuclear war have come down? Throughout the passage, he is not saying that. It's a natural calamity. That's called the hand of God, Rishi Kumar. So basically, luck, it's not human strengthen in terms of what happened with the use of nuclear, with something going wrong, is accident, luck or bad luck, but not a human act, not a voluntary human act which led to it. So the author says, right, that nuclear, the only reason that nuclear war has not happened so far is because of plain luck. So it would be strengthened by saying this nuclear thing that happened, which was bad for the whole of Japan, was a consequence of a natural calamity, right? So it is bad luck for the Germans. So the luck factor has come in. And all we now know how Japan is not as super efficient. With Fukushima, we knew they were working with they actually ignored a whole lot of true something bad happened, but the key is, author is saying, is just luck that prevented it. So A strengthens it by talking of the role of luck in a nuclear incident. You understand, Sai? It didn't talk of the positive part. A positive part would have been perfect, but none of the other options work. So since A is talking about something other than human actions, we go with it. All others would not strengthen it. So you are choosing, after eliminating options, you are choosing the one, and you say, okay, the author's main idea is about the role of luck in a nuclear event, and this is the role of natural disaster, which is bad luck. Got it? All right, this question, I even showed you the answer. Now you know the answer to the fourth one. What does the credible prospect of retaliation, believable, the likely eventuality, prospect? Oh yeah, if there is a war with Pakistan, India and Pakistan both have nuclear weapons, India says no problem. If I have a war with Pakistan, I know that I need not use nuclear weapons. So India and Pakistan or India and China can fight all they like, because there's always the prospect of, okay, if there is a war, it will be a conventional war. That's what it means. Therefore, what is the right option? Here, regular weapons instead of direct confrontation is wrong. He says either regular weapons or proxy wars. This somehow has mixed up both. It's played with words. So what does the idea of retaliation mean? That they know they can have a conventional war, not a nuclear war, and so they have, the idea of deterrence has worked because of that. But he's saying not all countries in all situations will be as, no. Nuclear countries with other nuclear weapons in a controlled manner. No. He is saying the credible prospect of retaliation. That means nuclear states have stopped, have not used nuclear weapons because they knew that they could retaliate with conventional weapons. What is B saying? They have witnessed escalations with other countries in a controlled manner. What does that mean? Instead of that, this one has said they have, nuclear countries have nuclear weapons but have stopped using have not used nuclear weapons. They've gone into war with other nuclear countries because of they know that there is the prospect of retaliation using conventional weapons. They can always use conventional weapons. Okay? Okay, tone of the author, most of you got it right, cautionary. Let's look at what the other one means. Pessimistic means negative, apprehensive means worried or anxious, exhilarated means happy. Congratulations, you have made it to Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. The feeling you will get is exhilaration. All right, we also, okay. See, you people will pass the exam once and get into IIM A, B, C, D, L, X, Y, Z, however many. I go through that process million times. Every time a student sends me a feedback saying, ma'am, I made it, that same exhilaration continues as if I have myself cleared the exam. No, don't be worried. Please don't be worried. This was a tough passage intended to be tough. Okay, but every question is a classic CAT question where you are likely to make a mistake. The pattern is what you should see. The pattern, okay, where did I make the mistake? I made it here because I did not read this part. That is how you need to analyze your performance rather than worry about it. All right. So now please read properly. As you read, simplify what you have read. So at the end of each slide, roughly you know what is in that slide. Roughly. I will, okay. Apprehensive is worried. The author is, does he say I am scared that this will happen? Rather than that, he is saying there's always the prospect that we might have a nuclear war. So he is warning us, and therefore his tone is cautionary. He is trying to tell us that, look, caution, there is a bend ahead, drive slowly. What is that? Is the person worried about you, or is he trying to warn you things are not good? Therefore, there's always a chance of a nuclear war, he is telling you. You understand? I am worried what will happen to the countries, we will all die. Has he said that? He hasn't. That is apprehensive. Okay. Oh, I've got only 1 out of 5 questions correct. How will I face cat? That is apprehensive. Acerbic means sharp, pungent. Acre, the root means acid. So acerbic tone means very sharp. Okay, something which hurts you. Okay. All right. Again, please don't get disheartened. This was meant to be a tough passage. The next one is easier, but just because it's easy, don't go around making mistakes. Read it slowly, carefully. You will make one mistake probably, because one question is, well, it has the usual cat tricks in it. All right. Your time starts now. I'll give you about a minute to read each slide. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay. Or see, you can identify the article too. Do you want me to show it to you one more time? 30 seconds. Quickly summarize whatever you have read. Okay, 30 seconds done. Next slide. Quickly, just read through some sentences here and there. Okay, next slide. Okay, all right. Let's now move on to the questions. Easy, quite an easy article. I'm not saying it's very easy. It can still be tricky. So when you are not very sure of the, you say, I remember reading something in the passage, but I don't remember it exactly. Please cross check. Okay, the disadvantage of showing it to you in a PowerPoint is I can only show you one slide at a time, but in the actual exam, you can refer to the passage all the time. So your eyes just have to dart to the left and right. So cross checking the part of the passage will help you with your accuracy. All right. What can you infer from the passage? People in suburban or rural areas have better immunity indices. Memory cells of immune systems are responsible for an acquired immune response. People who've had an exposure to a pathogen during their lives will be able to defend the body during future encounters. Or there is no need for us to sterilize all of the surfaces in our house and prevent children from going outside and playing in dirt. What do you think can be inferred? Which one is 100% correct based on? I will come to that answer. So answer for 6 quickly. This is question 6. Yeah, Rishi, I understood, but it's not 1. Yeah, Arvind, accuracy is maybe because of your focus fluctuating. We'll talk about that. Show the slide again. Which one? Which slide? Which slide, Rishi? The first, there were 3. The whole passage is in 3 slides. So which slide do you want me to show? This is 1. Okay, this is 2. And this is 3. Okay, all right. So answer to 6. Quickly give me your answers. What do you think? Okay, so I've seen B and C as the answers so far. All right. Lots of people attending the class, but very few answers. All right. Let's go to question 7. What is an assumption of the old friend microbe theory? What is the old friend microbe theory and what is the assumption behind that? Quickly read through the, good, I'm seeing some more answers for C. Quickly read through the options and tell me which slide to show you. I'll show you the second one where he mentions old friend microbe, or the slide which shows you that. Quickly go through the options, but do not mark anything. All right, quickly go through it. Phagocytes, neutrophils, monocytes, serum proteins, complements are responsible for non-specific immune system. People in the urban setup are exposed to limited microbial diversity. People having abodes in the lap of Mother Nature have a low record a low incidence of diseases. People are born with the same level of non-specific innate immunity. Okay, we gone back to old friend microbe, right? He talks about it in the last part of the first slide. From there he goes on to the next slide. So read from the last part. 1 minute from here. Then next one, old friend, then next part. Question 7, what's the answer? Six months, Harsh, we don't have 6 months. Oh, you're talking of 2021, we'll talk about that. All right. Assumption, that means he has talked of the old friend microbe theory. Okay, we'll go to that. All of you have marked the answers. Let's move on to question 8. What do you think will follow the passage? This is called the logical extension question. What do you think the author will mention in the next paragraph of the passage? He has stopped at one point. What do you think he's going to say next is what he is asking. What's he going to say next? A, soil biology, ill effects of the urban lifestyle, paragraph on the restoration of biodiversity and the health of city residents, or a paragraph on the effects of pollution. What do you think he is going to talk about? Remember, you need to remember the last paragraph, the theme of the last paragraph, and then decide. So where did he end the last paragraph? The whole slide is what you're looking at. Okay, the whole slide, that friendly microbes help us, cities lack biodiversity, pollution and germophobia, and soil. This is the last slide, the last part. So what do you think will happen after this is what he is asking. So read the last slide and then I'll show you the options again. Okay, what's he going to talk about? Mark your answers for question 8. Many of you have marked it. 8, I've seen all answers. A, C, D, all answers. B also I've seen. All right, question 9. All of the following are untrue except, means what do you have to mark? All of the following are untrue except. What do you have to mark? Okay, question 9. Understand the question and give me the right answer, and then we'll go back to the passage. 10 and 11 are parajumbles and odd one out parajumbles. So quickly we'll go through the passage and I'll look at the answers, and then we'll go to 9 and 10. We're already an hour into the class. Okay, I've got only 2 answers for 9 so far. What is the question asking? Please understand and then mark. The key in CAT to improve your accuracy is to understand the questions. What is the question asking? And especially the except questions. You need to understand what is he actually asking. All right. Okay. We go back to the passage where he first talks about we're going to be living, 70% of the world's population will live in the cities. What is happening in the city? Microbial diversity, biodiversity is being lost. Our body itself has so many microbes, and microbes found in the environment there are many friendly microbes. All right. Then he says that these friendly microbes play a great role in educating our immune system, in helping our immune system. So what does it do is our immune system has this random way of reacting. So the microbes help our immune system to be more regulated in building our immunity, not attacking everything. So the old friend microbe provides a regulatory role. Exposure to a diverse range of microbes will actually build our immune system. Second, he talks about the memory cells that always maintain a record of all the pathogens that attacked us and keeps a record, and so it helps you fight immune diseases by telling what should be used against which microbe. And you cannot do that without diverse microbes. Okay. Then he tells you that these friendly microbes also help develop our physical and mental health and build our strength. But the problem is our cities do not have microdiversity. We have become concrete jungles, we've cut off our trees, and along with it the flora, fauna, everything has gone. Plus we have developed a germophobia where we sterilize everything, so we are not exposed to any microbe. We don't even come in touch with the soil, and the soil also is a good source of microbes. That's what the passage says. Pretty easy. Question 1, what can you infer? You can't say they have better immunity in this, is exactly opposite. This, yes. Now, the most common wrong answer is C. I don't blame you, but don't you think it's too general? People who had an exposure to a pathogen during their lives will be able to defend the body during future encounters against what? A particular pathogen will, if their immune system develops the memory, fight better against that particular pathogen. This says to a pathogen will help you defend against everything. A little too general, but B is definitely you can infer from the passage. So between B and C, B is the better option. He has not said there is no need to sterilize. He says we've got this fear because of which we keep sterilizing, and in the process we kill the microbes. He is not saying don't sterilize. So D is what should be done, he has not mentioned. Next, assumption. He says these old friend microbes help us. So the assumption behind is that we all have that particular level of immunity which is then helped by these microbes. Now this is too general. Okay, this is already a fact mentioned in the passage. It's not an assumption. Okay, people having abodes in the lap of, has he said that? He just said urban dwellers don't have proper immunity, but that doesn't mean that the obverse is true. You understood? So answer is D. What is the assumption? These microbes will help everybody, build everyone's immunity. That means at the basis all of us have the same level of non-specific immunity. It's not like we react. So he's talking it will help everybody. So the assumption is everybody is at the same level of immunity at the beginning. Question 8. Best continues the passage. Why would he talk of soil biology? He only says soil is good for us because it has a lot of microbes. But why would he talk about soil biology? Okay, paragraph on the ill effects. He's already talked about the ill effects of urban lifestyle. Why would he go back to it? Yes. How can you restore biodiversity? That's what he's going to talk about, because this is all he has already covered. Right? Were these passages used? Were these passages? I didn't understand. What are these questions? Are these from Gradeup mocks? Some of them are, Arvind. Yeah, some of them are part of our mocks, which we wanted to explain. All right. What is the question asking in question 9? Which one is true? Only one statement is true, all the others are false. What did you say? Cells in the human body replicate at a faster rate in comparison to microbes. Has he said that? Sterilizing surfaces is more bad than good. Has he said that? He just said we end up with a germophobia, so we sterilize surfaces and in the process we kill the microbes. But that doesn't say, he says it is bad. It does more bad than good. Okay, this definitely is true. Okay, they help our immune system, they regulate our immune system, they help to guide not all microbes, only the friendly microbes which are in the environment. In different ways they help to guide because of whatever. They act as the regulator. There are some microbes which are friendly, which the body shouldn't regulate against. There are others which should. Understood? So this is too general. So C is true, D is the most common wrong answer. All right, we have really overshot our time. We will do this one question quickly. I'm only going to give you 30 seconds for it. And then we will sign off. Okay. My main intention is RC. I will do parajumbles in a later class. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Do it one more time, Rishi. Follow the class, do the passage, do the questions one more time. Quickly find the links and give me the answers. And that's the last question of the set. Okay. And then just give me a minute when I go through what exactly we have planned for you, and then we're done. Okay, I have a class coming up. So, what do you think is the starter? One of the first documented sources of the widespread use of the dispositional view to understand evil and rid the world is found in a text that became the Bible of the Inquisition. Next, this book was required to be read. How can evil continue to exist in a world governed by an all-good, all-powerful God? One answer is that God allows evil to exist as a test of men's souls. However, God restricted devil's direct influence of the people because of his experience with Adam and Eve. And therefore, what did the devil do? The devil found its own ways, okay, to have witches. All right. Okay. Some of the options we have still for you is, of course, the Diwali bonus continues. We have the Gradeup green card with 6 months and 3 months validity. It will help you for your non-CAT exams as well. So that is one thing you need to look at if you haven't joined any of our courses yet. Look at the Diwali offer, the Gradeup green card of 6 months and 3 months validity, which is a series of online classes, online exams. Okay. And we have 2021 series happening, 2020 non-CAT exam ongoing classes, and GK classes for you. All right. Subscribe to Gradeup Super, where you will have access to all the courses under the CAT preparation category. All right. So I will be back very soon with just a quick class on parajumbles, odd one out parajumbles and summaries. But with this, we finish the set of VARC classes. Yes, do like the video. So if you enjoyed the class, you liked it and found it useful, please do press the like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our Gradeup app for the latest version of the Gradeup app, so you get notifications all the time. All right. And do not get disheartened if you got 1 on 4 correct, 1 on 5 correct. The point is, look at the exam and these patterns of answers and questions are replicated. So you need to know what you should do. Improving VARC in 10 days, the next 10 days, Shri, take as many mocks as you can, 1 a day, not more than 1 a day. Analyze your performance in the mock, which is very important. What kind of questions are you getting wrong? And take lots of rest and lots of sleep. All right, that's the best for the on the day of CAT. Please do not go anywhere near the paper, and when you take CAT, just concentrate, focus, keep everything back, start with a clean state, just focus on what you're reading and you will do well. It just needs focus and faith in yourself. I've done so many RC passages, ye bhi ho jayega. We've done it. There's nothing more to be learned. You can read, so you can do reading comprehension. Just don't make silly mistakes. All right. Make sure you attend our analysis evening slot. We have an analysis after the slot is over. Do join us for the analysis. We will be, all of us are taking CAT so that we can look at the pattern and give you some sort of an idea of how you've done. All right. All the best, guys. Of course, I will be seeing you before the exam, but in case you do not attend the sessions, all the best. Okay. Loads of good wishes and blessings from the entire Gradeup family. All right. 4 or 5 classes a day, Prasanna. I have to run for my class now. All right. Bye, guys. Take care. Subscribe to our channel. Do like the video. Bye. Take care.